Let me tell you something I do not usually lead with. I'm the guy who built the money map method. I teach families how to take control of their money. And for a while, I had a problem I could not solve in my own household. Our family ran all our expenses through one master credit card. The funds to pay it off sat in an offshore account that could not be automated. Every single month, I had to manually transfer the money to pay it off. So I set up 3 reminders, 3 separate alerts, 3 safety nets. I missed the payment 6 times in 1 year. 45% interest each time. When I added it up, the total penalties were nearly equal to what a family holiday would cost. 6 months of penalties, 1 family holiday's worth of money, gone. Most people would call that a discipline problem. It was not. It was a design problem. And what I learned from that failure became the foundation of every system I built for families up until today. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact system, what went wrong, exactly what my wife said that changed everything, and the one principle that now sits at the core of the money map method. This is the kind of thing I break down every single week on this channel. Real stories, real mistakes, real systems that actually work for families. If you are a parent who wants to get smarter with money in 15 minutes or less, hit subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Point 1. One of my golden rules, one of the things I teach inside the money map method is the decision close. Automate wherever you can. Remove the human side from the equation. But here I was, the system builder himself, with one critical payment that I could not put on autopilot. Every month, it depended entirely on me remembering to do it. So I did what most people do. I set reminders, 3 of them. And this is what I call now the Willpower Mirage. It looks like a system. It feels like a system, but it's not a system. It's a human being trying to do a machine's job. Reminders are not automation. They are just a hope with a notification sound. That setup alone would have been bad enough. But what happened next is where the real damage started. Point 2, 6 failures in 12 months. The first time I missed the payment, I told myself was a one-off. Life is busy. I had things that felt really more important. 45% interest on the full amount that my family had spent that month. I told myself would not happen again, right? Guess what? It happened again. The second time, I was frustrated. The third time, I was angry at myself. By the 4th time and the 5th time, something darker crept in me. Real self-doubt. Am I actually not able to do this? Me, the person who builds money systems for families? I cannot even manage my own credit card? It happened 6 times in 1 year. Now I know what you're thinking. The money systems guy cannot even pay his own credit card? Stay with me, because that thought, that exact reaction is the whole point of this story. When I added it all up, the total amount we paid in penalties was nearly equal to what our family holiday would cost every summer. We had burned a whole vacation, not because we did not have the money, because I could not get myself to transfer it on time. In the money map method, we call these the lazy taxes. Silent penalties you pay for not fixing the system. Avoidable, invisible until you add them up, and completely optional once you build the right structure. The longer you wait to build a system, the more family holidays you burn on avoidable mistakes. So there I was, 6 failures, a pile of lazy taxes, and a growing belief that the problem was me. But then someone in my life said 5 words that changed everything. Point 3, the mirror moment. My wife was the one who finally held up the mirror up to my face. She sat me down and pointed out what I could not see through my own frustration. She said, "You are the system builder. Build the system." This is what I now call the mirror moment. It is when someone close to you reflects back the gap between what you teach and what you're actually doing. And she was rightfully upset. The money we lost to interest was real. Real money that could have gone towards our family, our kids, our experience together, gone. Because I kept believing that discipline and willpower would be enough. She was not blaming me. She was pointing at the design. Her words landed. But the real shift did not happen in that conversation. It happened when I finally asked a completely different question. Point 4, the epiphany. After the sixth failure, after my wife's words finally cut through, something shifted. I stopped blaming myself for lacking discipline. I stopped thinking the answer was to try harder, set a force reminder to be more careful next time. Instead, I asked a completely different question. Why am I asking a human to do a machine's job? 3 reminders had failed me 6 times. Willpower had failed me 6 times. The problem was never me. The problem was that I left a critical financial task dependent on human discipline, instead of building a system that handled it automatically. Willpower is not a financial strategy. Systems are. Now here's where most people push back. They hear stop relying on willpower and think that means stop trying. It does not mean stop trying. It means stop putting yourself in a position where trying is the only thing keeping the system alive. Design the environment so discipline is optional. That is when I restructured the entire family accounting setup. I reorganized accounts, changed the flow of funds, and built a structure that allowed me to finally automate that last transfer. The credit card got paid on time every time ever since. Not because I became more disciplined, because I removed the need for discipline entirely. So the system got fixed, but the lesson went deeper than one credit card. It changed how I think about every family I work with. Point 5, the framework. This experience changed how I think about the money map method at its core. The whole system is built on one principle. It has to work for real humans, not financial experts, not people with iron discipline, not people who never forget a payment or never impulse buy something they should not. The money map method is kind of like a sat-nav for your family's money. You set the destination once, the system handles the route, and you do not need to memorize every turn. It is built for people like me, people who miss reminders, who get busy, who make mistakes. And it's built for families where parents and kids learn together. And you do not have to be a money master to use the money map method. The system does the heavy lifting. You just show up and work it as a family. That is why parents learn alongside their kids and teens in this method. Not because the parents already know everything, because the system teaches everyone at the same time. Your kids do not need a perfect financial role model. They need a parent who is willing to learn alongside them. Financial education does not work when it's taught. It only works when it's built together. So if you are sitting there thinking, I'm terrible with money, how can I possibly teach my kids? I want you to hear this. That thought does not disqualify you. It makes you exactly the right person for this program. Because the system was not built by someone who's never made a mistake. It was built by someone who made the same mistake 6 times over, got called out by his wife, and finally learned, stop relying on your willpower. Build a system. You do not need to be good with money. You need a good system. And you do not have to learn it all alone. You learn it with your kids. Smart money families are not built by perfect parents. They are built by honest ones. If you want a calm place to start, I built a free 30-minute money reset. The link is in the description. And if you want to see the story of how this system survived 2 revolutions, watch this video next.